Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, and it is me, Marissa, back for another video. And today I'm going to go ahead and do another video in my top 10 series. And this one is top 10 things that I did not know or I really wasn't aware of before I started watching BookTube and then having my own BookTube channel. So, without any further ado, let's just get into it. So the first thing is that I had zero idea that there were so many genres and subgenres and subtypes, and literally I'm still not sure if it's the publishers doing this or if it's the readers that are doing this. I mean, historical fiction and fantasy and YA fantasy and urban fantasy and paranormal romance and general romance and YA romance, and I mean, it's just like a never-ending slew of descriptions. Like, I was just aware of the big ones like historical fiction, fantasy, sci-fi, you know, westerns, yada yada yada, like the big ones, you know what I mean, like the big genres. And then like all of a sudden I started seeing all these like pop-up subgenres, and it was like okay, I didn't even know these existed, but hey, I mean, that's cool, whatever. The number two thing that I did not know before starting BookTube was that libraries actually have ebooks and audiobooks now. I cannot tell you the last time that I actually went to a library, and I had no idea that they did not just carry physical books anymore. Even my small town, rinky-dink, like can't even be considered a city town that I live in, has a library that has ebooks and audiobooks. Mind blown. Who even knew that? So the third thing that I did not know before BookTube was that reading was so popular. I literally had no idea that the BookTube community, or that there even was a BookTube community, was so massive. Like, it's cool to read. Who even would know that? Like, I was the nerd in school when it was time to read in English class, where they like forced you to read for half an hour or whatever, that I was disappointed that I only got to read for half an hour. I was the uncool kid who wanted to read at lunch and wanted to read at recess instead of running around and doing things. And now it's like, you know, reading and being a reader is like the new normal. That's what people do. So the fourth thing that I learned after joining BookTube was that I could actually enjoy audiobooks. I have always been very vehement that I don't have the attention span to pay attention to an audiobook. And then once I started actually listening to them and doing it when I'm doing other things where my body's occupied but my brain is not, like, I understood how I can be engaged in an audiobook and how I can listen to an audiobook and actually really enjoy the experience, which I really never thought possible before. So that is something I definitely have to thank BookTube for, is introducing me to audiobooks and like giving me that push to give them another chance. So the fifth thing that I did not know before I joined BookTube was that there is so much jargon surrounding books and book readers and booktubers and bookstagrammers and book Twitter. It's a whole nother language, essentially, that you have to learn when you're getting into this community in the first place. TBRs and DNFs and tropes and arcs, and, you know, it's just like, whew, mind totally blown at first. I was listening to people on BookTube for like the first couple weeks and like, what are these people talking about? And finally, there was enough videos out there that kind of explained all this jargon to me to where I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, I understand that now. And now I'm using that jargon, hoping that everyone else understands. So the sixth thing that I did not know before I joined BookTube is that I could read over 100 books in a year. Which is crazy to me because I never in my life have read over 100 books in a year. And then last year, I only started my BookTube channel in June, but I still managed to read 120 books last year. So, wow, I'm just like, I'm completely flabbergasted. You know, I still feel like I don't read enough, even though, you know, I'm reading like 15 to 20 books every single month. And I don't know how some people do it, that they're finishing over 200 books a year. That is crazy to me. I wish I had that much free time, to be perfectly honest. So the seventh thing that I did not know before joining BookTube was that the book fandoms are just as crazy, just as loud, just as fanatic about books as people are about music and movies and concerts and, you know, bands and things like that, that the fandoms are strong, very, very strong. And it is insane how popular books and authors are as a fandom. It blows my mind, because I just thought, nah, you know, nobody cares. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, people go crazy over authors and books, and it blew my mind. So the eighth thing that I have learned is that you can never have too many bookmarks, because I'm sure everybody does this. You just find random things and use it as a bookmark. I have been using a pack of cards, no kidding, that I got in an Owl Crate box, and I can't remember, I don't even know what fandom they're from, but I got them in an Owl Crate box, and I don't playing with playing cards, so they've just been sitting on my bookshelf. And then I kept like getting into books and then like wanting to put them down and pick up another one, so I just kept using these playing cards. So I have a bunch of books on my shelf with playing cards stuck in them at the place where I left off reading them. So the ninth thing that I did not know before joining BookTube was that books are so much better if you can share them with other people who love them. If you find somebody who is a geek in the same fandom as you for books, then it makes the enjoyment of that book like 100 times better. Or even buddy reading with people. I mean, books, it seems like it would be such a solo experience, a solo enjoyment. And it's always been very rare for me to have actually read the same book as somebody else, just because, you know, I live in a small town. I have a small circle. So if they do read, they probably don't read the same books that I do. But that's the great thing about BookTube, is that you find your people and you really get a sense for other people's reading tastes, and you know whose opinion to trust, and you know, it makes your enjoyment that much better. I love when I finish a book and I can get on BookTube and find the booktubers that I follow and listen to their opinions on the same book that I just read. It's amazing. It like validates my opinions in some ways, but then it also gives me more to think about, like, oh, I must have missed that part, or oh, I didn't really think about that at the time. But you know, just hearing about it from somebody else just makes it that much more enjoyable. So the 10th thing that I did not know before joining BookTube was that there are so many different covers. I thought a cover's a cover, it's the same here, it's the same everywhere. Not a freaking fact. I have seen so many UK covers that are 20 times more beautiful than the US covers. And it drives me nuts, because I want them, and I want them bad. And then I can't have them. But yeah, it's just insane. And then all the special covers, and then when they're in book boxes or book of the month, and then they have completely different redesigned covers, and then, you know, the naked book hardback covers are different, and it's a whole thing out there, and it's like a collector's dream, but also a collector's nightmare, if you know what I mean. So anyway, so those are the 10 things that I did not know before starting BookTube. I hope you guys found this video enjoyable, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday, and I would really love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe my videos. Have a great day.